we're the Callums, and we've been asked the question, how do we stay single-eyed towards one another? I'll say for myself, based on my experience, one of the lessons the Lord has really taught me is to not see people after the flesh. And so, for example, as I go about my daily activities and I see a woman that is not dressed provocatively, the Lord has taught me that, to see beyond what's on the outside, to see them as a soul, to see them as someone that's loved by God, dearly loved by God. And so it's from that place of compassion that I'm able to engage them if I need to, without entertaining lustful thoughts. And that has been a journey for me. I'm so grateful for the Lord's grace and His word, which simply just by embracing it, I see that manifesting, just knowing that I can be able to keep single-eyed towards the one that the Lord has given me. Yeah.
All right, so for me, as I thought about that question, I could really offer a number of tips per se. Like, for example, focus on those good qualities in your spouse, or, date often and do the things that they like and all the things. And those things are good, they have a place and they do help to an extent. But for me, what I realized was, for me personally, is that when I thought of the question, I could not per se, I didn't see how I was intentionally doing things with that in the back of my mind to say, okay, I'm doing this with Darren because I want to stay single-eyed. For me, I'm not tempted in that way. And as I sat and I thought about it, I said, why am I not tempted in that way? I realized that it's because I am, even before Darren, I've been contented in God. When I consider my past life, before I was saved, how I was living a promiscuous lifestyle, being unfaithful and all the things, and the Lord took me from that, and I just cannot imagine going back there. I hate the thing. I don't want to ever entertain it. A number of times I've had dreams, the enemy suggesting somebody else inside of those dreams, and it makes me really upset. Darren can attest to that. I don't. Yeah, so for me, it's not a temptation, and as I said, that's because I'm contented with God and God alone. Yeah, and Darren is a wonderful spouse, and I mean that. He really is an awesome husband. But if it's just his qualities, that make me contented to say, okay, I'm gonna stay with Darren because he does this or that well. That's never gonna be enough to sustain me inside of trials, right? If they should come, because let's say Darren sings well, and if that's what I'm so crazy about per se, what happens when I come across somebody else who is an even greater singer? What's gonna happen inside my heart then? So it's not necessarily his qualities. While I love them and I love him, it's not those things that really keep me single-eyed. It really is my contentment in God. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. The 2 cents from the Callums. All right, guys. Bye-bye.